Hello everybody, welcome back to Frontier Patriot. I'm Ron Rayfield and this is Justine Ron. We have another chewing chat for you today.
Yes.
What do we have today, Justine?
We have chocolate biscuits. Now in America we would call them chocolate cookies. This is from an 1812 receipt from the cookbook called The Professed Cook, which is actually the same cookbook that we got the lentil soup recipe from.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, I already tried these. And I really like them. I really do. They're very cakey inside. It tastes like a chocolate cake more than a cookie, I suppose.
They're beautiful looking.
They are beautiful. And Ron hasn't tried them yet. These are oil-free.
Yeah, there's no oil.
Modern chocolate cookies always have vegetable oil in them. They have shortening or some other crud like that. The only moisture that's in this is eggs. It's from eggs. And boy, are there a lot of eggs. There's 8 eggs in here. They're protein cookies. They're healthy
Yes.
for you.
Yeah, there's no butter even in them.
Yeah, there's
right?
not. There's no butter in them. It's just eggs. As far as the liquid goes, it's eggs.
Well, stand aside. Let me get in here.
Stand aside.
All right.
We got tea to have with it as well.
And these are from 1812, you said, right?
This recipe is from a book that was published in 1812.
Looking at it, this looks like one of those pretty cookies you see in the glass case when you go to the mall and they're like $4 a piece.
Yeah.
This is gorgeous.
It smells good.
Let me give it the... Okay. The bounce is nice.
The bounce.
As you squeeze with your fingers,
Yes.
it rebounds.
Our official review of these chocolate cookies from 1812.
The smell.
Doesn't it smell like chocolate cake?
Yes.
Ooh! Ooh, it's good. We're doing everything except eating them right now.
Well, you want the official review, don't you?
The weight? Yeah, the weight. What's the weight now?
Now, let's see. Oh, that's just wonderful.
Oh, it's like a cake.
That is thick and
Airy.
airy. Yeah, you can. It might be hard to see, but there are air pocket bubbles in there. That's
Yes,
from
very tiny ones.
That's from the egg whites.
It's moist.
Yes.
Touching the top of it, has a little bit of stickiness to it, like a moist cake would.
But it doesn't stick with you because there's no butter or oil in it.
No. Yeah,
Okay.
there's no oil.
I've got to. Okay, this is the last part of the review.
Ching!
Plunk. Woo! That's chocolatey.
Mm-hmm.
Now it is airy, but it's dense.
Yeah.
I like it. It's like a brownie
It's like a brownie.
or a biscuit.
A biscuit, you say.
Yeah.
They are called chocolate biscuits.
This is really good.
Yeah, they're really good.
I can't remember how pretty they are.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous.
Well,
just like you.
Well, thank you. It tastes like a chocolate cake. It's phenomenal. You guys have to try this at home. What would you give this out of 10? A rating?
This is getting a 10.
This is a 10 too?
This is a 10.
Mm-hmm.
I do need something to drink. It's a little thick.
But it's good.
Would you like some tea?
I would love some tea. And
Yeah.
what kind of tea are we drinking today?
Today we are drinking cranberry tea that I got from Candy Store.
That's right. Cranberry tea. Has real dried cranberries in it. And we already put some honey at the bottom of our teacup before
Yes.
we started filming.
Cue the violins.
Oh, you have to mix it up first? Oh, you really overfilled mine.
Sorry.
It's okay.
That's good.
That was kind of satisfying, yeah.
No, this is delicious.
See?
Oh.
Oh, you really
Steady.
filled it.
Steady. Whoa. Ah.
Oh, that tea is phenomenal.
It's good. It's steeped the right amount of time.
Oh, it's really fruity and sweet cranberry tea.
Yes.
Cranberries are healthy.
Back to these cookies, though. I can't get over this. This is really good. And this ain't that bad for you. Because there's no butter or oil or large amounts of sugar.
Protein cookies.
There's some powdered sugar in it, of course, but...
Now, I will say that there are 2 cups of sugar to 1 cup of flour.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of sugar in here, and you have to use finely powdered up sugar.
It's powdered sugar, so it's not like it's 2 cups of granulated sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Powdered sugar is lighter. It's not...
Yeah. When you eat it, the texture is It's great. You don't taste grainy
Yeah, there's no grit.
sugar in it. There's no grit.
Now, we made chocolate cookies last summer, I believe. Now, they didn't have any flour in them.
Those were gluten-free.
They were gluten-free, but they were crispy, like a Cocoa Crisp.
Mm-hmm.
And they were a little grainy because they told us to put sugar in.
Regular sugar.
Yes, granulated sugar in with our egg whites. But these, they're smooth. It's
like a modern chocolate cake, just in a cookie form.
You've been on a roll with this chocolate stuff lately. If you guys have not seen the chocolate tart that we made last month, please go back and watch that and then make that.
That was one of the best desserts we've ever made on this channel.
It's one of the best desserts I've ate in my life.
Okay, once we turn off the camera, the fun don't stop.
No.
We completely ate that thing within 24 hours between Ron and I.
Felt bad about it, but it was worth it. It was delicious.
Ron was constantly saying, man, I can't... Where's the chocolate tart? He just wanted to eat lunch so we could have that chocolate tart afterwards. And he had pieces this big.
Not gonna lie, I did sneak a piece while she was in the shower that night.
He always does that. Every time I take a bath that night, he goes out and he sneaks sweets. Like I won't notice.
You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. When I say guys, I mean you guys. When the wife is away, you know, you open up the cupboard and you get the
when the health inspector is
get the snaps out there.
Yep. I told Ron I'm gonna put a lock on our pantry.
That's okay.
Or put a camera in there that's motion detected. So every time he opens up the pantry, he takes a picture of him like...
That's okay, because I'm going to have my own secret pantry.
Oh.
Never mind, you didn't hear that.
I did. Okay, so with the cookies, we decided to experiment a little too, because life's too short not to. We customized some of them. We put walnuts in this one.
Yes, they would have had walnuts back then.
Big. Actually, walnuts and pecans are a major crop in our area.
Yes. We actually have a pecan festival here in the fall.
Yes, it's a big deal in St. Genevieve.
It's called Pecanapalooza.
Pecanapalooza.
It's a thing.
Yes, we're obsessed with pecans and walnuts around here. Dried fruit. There's dried blueberries in this one.
That'd be good.
Which do also grow around here, so I figured why not? You know, let's try this one.
Okay.
So you guys at home, if you want to change it up a little bit, I won't judge. You want to add stuff to it, you want to add chocolate chips to it, now that's a little bit more modern, but if you want to, I won't judge.
Some dried cranberries, or the blueberries, or walnut or pecans in there would be good.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
It's good.
Now we're verging on a little too sweet, though.
Because those are sweet.
Yeah, the blueberries themselves are very sweet.
I will say these don't need any more sugar.
No. Yeah, the recipe is good on sugar. It's 2 cups of powdered sugar. Okay, that's good. It's a little too sweet for me. Someone else out there might enjoy it, though.
What is your review of this, by the way?
Oh, yeah!
I gave it 10.
So, from a historic standpoint, as far as early 1800s desserts go, this is a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Modern, I've had some really mighty fine chocolate cakes from restaurants in my life, so it's really hard to say, because this is 200 plus years old, you know, I mean, and it's very minimal on the ingredient list, too. It's kind of primitive.
Only 4 ingredients.
Yeah, it's kind of primitive compared to modern chocolate turtle cheesecakes or something like that. So modern, I would give this a 7.
Okay.
So it's still very much edible.
It's respectable.
Yeah, but when you go into making this, keep an open mind. Remember, this is from 1812, so it's not, and it's oil-free, so it might not be as gooey as, say, a modern chocolate brownie would be, or even a modern chocolate cookie.
Now, what you could do, if you do make these and you want to try to just up it a little bit, maybe melt some butter or soften some butter and just put a little bit on there, like a butter sauce, I guess is what you'd call that. That might seep in there and make it a little bit moister for you if you want to go extra.
Okay, now for this one, this would be good, but I kind of feel like I want to dip it in something. I kind of want some
Your
milk.
tea? Milk?
Yeah, I kind of want some milk. How would this taste dipped in milk?
You want milk. You want to bring milk to this table.
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
I'm not lactose intolerant. Ron is lactose intolerant.
I don't care. I'll drink the milk. Are you sure you want that to happen, though?
Bring me some milk!
Ready for the milk? Here it comes. There it is.
Got milk? We do.
We're going to need some new cups, though. I got tea in my cup.
Okay, let me get some cups.
You're wasting these.
That's what you're here for. Cleanup crew. Milk. Milk. See how they taste dipped in milk.
Mm.
With Santa Claus approved. Let's see. Tear it a little bit.
I think Santa will approve.
And here you go. Let's see. Let it sit in there for a little bit. That's how I like to do it. Swish around.
I like seeing the little bubbles. That means it's doing it. How is it?
It did not soften it up.
Really?
Yeah, like most modern cookies would be.
It didn't.
It didn't. It just kind of sits on the surface of it.
Try it this way. Mmm.
Take a bite, take a swig, take a bite, take a swig.
Bite, sip, repeat.
It didn't really absorb it though. Maybe if I left it in there for a really long time.
I think that's so dense.
Maybe. I'm gonna plop it in here and leave it in there for a while.
It floats, it's buoyant.
It floats. Okay, it is floating. I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm just gonna let that sit in there for a bit and see if it soaks it up eventually. Anyway, back to my tea. So Ron, do we have any what happened this week in history facts?
Yes, so this week in history, most of these are from the 1800s this week.
Oh, cool.
So we'll start at the beginning of this week. On April 2nd in 1792, Congress passes the U.S. Coinage Act, which established the U.S. Mint and puts us in the format of using dollars. So you got pounds, pence, shillings, francs, and a few other units of money, but we chose to go with the dollar method.
So now we have a nationwide currency?
Yes.
For the first time.
But we still accepted foreign currencies because they're made from silver and gold, but I don't think we accepted any paper notes from other places. But I do have here, the U.S. officially ended foreign currency acceptance in 1857, so you can no longer pay with a shilling from England.
Oh, okay.
Now somebody might take it, depending on what it's made out of, like pieces of 8. Those were used up until the Civil War, which is about the same time because it's silver. So you melt it down and change the face of it. They don't have the Spanish face on it.
Silver, gold, and diamonds are kind of universally accepted everywhere. Right.
You know, I see these commercials. They say, buy such and such gold. This was stamped in 1902. It's if I do buy it, I'm going to melt it down to a bar. I don't care about some random guy's face on a coin from 1902. I want like a bar of gold. So it's probably worth more.
Unless it's a rare coin, then you need to save it.
If it's a rare coin,
worth
yes.
more money.
Yes.
Now, didn't some states have their own currency that they would print out? And now, finally, your money in Missouri is accepted in Illinois, Nebraska, New Orleans, New York, whatever. Whereas back then, every state, or at least a lot of different states, had their own money that they would print out with their own different people on it.
And that's been the way here since the beginning, up until the Revolutionary War. After the Revolutionary War, it became United States money, but it was still being printed independently. So this kind of unified it and formatted it and made it uniform. Because you'd have Philadelphia money, and then somebody in Georgia could say, well, I can't accept that. It's not as worth as much as a Georgia dollar.
Oh, yeah, I can see how that would get obnoxious real quick.
Alright, moving on. Next up, we got April 3rd. On 1860 was the beginning of the Pony Express. The Pony Express was a mail carrier system on horseback, and it went from Kansas City area in Missouri all the way out to California because there was no transcontinental railroad yet, and there was no transcontinental telegraph system yet, which is like, you know, the Morse code.
Yeah. What did you say to me? Excuse me.
So that lasted for a very short time. I think it was just under 2 years, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
Because they connected the transcontinental telegraph line, and then immediately after that they started construction on the transcontinental railroad, which connected the railroads from the east through the Midwest out to the West Coast.
Oh, so the Pony Express was only a thing for 2 years.
I was surprised to learn that. I thought it was around for a decade or something, but it was not.
Yeah, and of course they had ways of delivering mail long before then, but this was a nationwide system now.
They had this set up so it would be fast. There were drop points and pickup points, and riders would cover the same area so they'd be familiar with it.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. So the next one I got here is on April 4th, 1841. President William Henry Harrison, our 9th president of the United States. He was born in 1773, and he died in 1841. He was also the shortest term served as president because he died while he was in office 31 days after being inaugurated. He had pneumonia.
He died from pneumonia just 1 month after being sworn in as president.
Unfortunately.
Ouch!
But this guy was pretty neat. I dug into him. He's been a politician his whole life, but he was also a brigadier general in the War of 1812.
Yeah, he lived a pretty interesting life. Wasn't he at the time the oldest?
At the time, he was the oldest to be elected president in the 1840s. He was 67 years old, I believe.
Yeah.
So we've completely blown that out of water by today.
Sure have, by a few decades.
Yes. But back then, 67, you're looking pretty rough. So.
Well, also back then, presidents there were different expectations. They were usually expected to be in the military to some capacity. If you were a general, extra bonus points for you, and you were expected to still have kind of a leadership role physically in that sense. So if you were a 100-year-old man, no one would really take you seriously as a president. They wanted a general. They wanted someone that was still there leading men.
Yes. Look at George Washington. When he was president, he saddled up and rode out with the army during the Whiskey Rebellion in the 1790s while he was president.
Yes.
You don't see presidents doing that today.
No, you don't.
All right, next up I've got, this is an old one, by the way. This is way back in 1614 on April 5th. Any guesses what happened?
1614, that's the early 17th century.
It involves a very famous American lady and a famous, well, he became famous.
You might have heard of her.
European guy.
In fact, I guarantee you've heard about this lady. I guarantee it.
Starts with a P. You want
Any guesses?
If you answered Pocahontas, you are correct.
So what happened to Pocahontas in 1614?
In 1614, on April 5th, Pocahontas marries John Rolfe.
Rolfe.
R-O-L-F-E. If I'm not pronouncing it right, just bear with me.
Not John Ralph, John Rolfe.
I guess in the movie they said John Smith, so it's easy for kids to say Smith instead of Rolfe.
I think so, yes. But yes, Pocahontas was a real person, and the Westerner that she married was also a real person.
She went back to Europe with him, didn't she?
Yes, she did. They got married, I believe, in Virginia.
Yes.
And they went back to his native country, where she lived for the rest of her life, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. What an experience.
American history is pretty incredible. Fact is stranger than fiction.
It really is.
Now, you know what? I'm going to try this.
What are you trying to try?
Remember I put some of that cookie in here?
Oh, did it sink yet?
Nope, it's still floating, but it's been sitting in there for a few minutes.
I bet it's still dry.
Okay, let's see.
Is it dry?
Okay, it soaked it up, but it's not mushy at all.
It's an everlasting chocolate cookie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if you put this in your cellar, it'd probably last 3 months.
Wow.
I don't know. It's the simple things in life that completely change your life. I got a spoon rest. Finally, I got a spoon rest. So I was just putting my spoons on the table, and that's pretty nasty. So I got this from Candy's store.
We were in there checking the mail. She wasn't even there. I said, hey, she got these in just the other day. And we seen it.
It's magic!
I left the money on the counter and a smiley face note. And ran out. Yeah, that's pretty. I like that.
It's the simple things in life. I also got a new pair of shoes a few days ago.
Yeah, how do you like them?
They are 100% leather. They're a step away from being moccasins, I suppose.
Yeah,
I like them.
They're like a fancy house slipper for a lady.
Yeah, but you can wear them outside too.
Yeah.
I like them. I like them a lot. I have them on right now.
Good.
They don't have any sole inserts. I think I'm gonna insert some wool into it because sometimes when I walk on gravel, I feel it. I have sissy feet though, and you guys out there have sissy feet. I see people walking around outside barefoot on gravel.
I can't do it. On
hot pavement roads. I don't know how you guys do that. I have the weakest weakling feet. I can't take it.
The worst is when you get out of a swimming pool and you're on the concrete sidewalk and it just burns your feet.
Oh,
the memories. Woo! And they'd be like, no running!
Sizzling.
It's like, my feet are frying! And you're standing there waiting to get on the slide. It's like, ah!
Literally. Okay, more facts, Ron.
More facts.
What happened this week?
I've got one more fact.
Give it to me.
Alright, so in 1832, I can't read my handwriting, on 1832, on April 6th, the Black Hawk War officially begins. And that's between the United States and the Indians up in what they called the Northwest Territory at that time. Now, this is the second shortest war we've ever been in. It only lasts until August.
So it didn't even last a year.
No, less than a year. And
Wow.
On that note, the shortest war we were ever in was the Spanish-American War. Yes, in the late 1800s. Those are the two shortest wars we've ever been in.
How short are we talking about? Less than a year.
It was from later April to also in August, but by like
a few months.
Yeah.
So
they're both within like a few days of each other, but that is the shortest. It's the Spanish-American.
Wow.
But the Black Hawk War was the second shortest. So that was kind of neat fact about it. And that's all I got for that.
Okay.
For this week in history.
This week in history.
But we went to a colonial market the other day over at Fort Richard, and I got this new shirt, by the way.
Yeah, I think on camera it probably looks white, but in person it's kind of this, I don't know what you call it, cat?
It's a off-white?
It's linen.
It's natural.
It's a tan color.
It's a natural color. It ain't been bleached.
It looks like a canvas sack, that kind of color.
What'd you call me?
A canvas sack?
Run!
Run!
I'm gonna get.
Run!
You call me canvas sack, I'm gonna get.
Stay here! You're not a canvas sack. You look very handsome in your new shirt.
Okay, thank you.
Stay a while. Make yourself at home.
I'll have no cookie.
There you go. That's a good step. Please do try this at home. Very, very good. And if you want a modern translated recipe, I will put it in the top pinned comment on the video of me cooking these on Early American. So make sure you look at the top comment on the Early American video for these cookies. I try my best to translate the recipe into modern talk.
Yes.
I've actually only been doing that kind of recently.
So many questions, you gotta do it.
Yeah, I've been doing it for the last couple months for most of the videos. Every so often I have skipped a video because I just can't do it. I'm sorry.
What?
No, I'm good. I'm gonna finish my milk. Because some of the recipes they don't give any measurements for anything. And I don't do measurements either. It's just, it says add some sage, add some onion, add some parsley. Well, if I was to write a recipe, it would be add sage, add parsley. Just eyeball it, and people don't like that, so I'm sorry. But this one, it worked because they did actually give proper measurements this time.
Very rare.
Very rare, but they did it.
But that all goes to who wrote the book. So most of the recipes in that book probably have measurements, unlike
other books.
Yes.
Another book where someone said, add some flour to some currants and as much sugar as you can afford, and boom, you got a cake. It's like, what? How do I wrap my mind around that?
It's like a science experiment. You just gotta...
Yeah, and I don't measure stuff out either, unless it tells me to. I usually just mad science experiment, so it's hard for me to go back and translate. What did I just do?
So we try to help you out with that.
Yes.
But we got some events coming up. Of course, we got Pioneer Days. We're within a month of that. And we're so excited. the funny thing is we went out to dinner the other night and we ran into the guy who's doing the wagon rides. Had no idea he was going to be there. He came up and said hello to us, so that was really cool.
Small world.
And we're going to go ahead and start talking about the 4th of July. We're going to call it the Independence Day celebration, and it's going to be on Saturday, July 1st. Now, we mentioned this last week, and we took your advice into consideration greatly, and everybody is on board with it. So we don't have an official flyer yet, but we are in the works of getting that worked out. But we're going to do it on July 1st on Saturday, mostly because we want the most amount of people to show up and to be able to participate. It being in Tuesday is really hard.
Most people don't have off from their job.
Right. They're working Monday, and then they definitely gotta go back to work on Wednesday. So Saturday just works out best. There will still be something on a small scale on Tuesday locally, and that's great. But we want to make this for as many people as possible. So Saturday we're going to blow it out of the water and
also
have a big
Saturday,
celebration.
They're having the fireworks at St. Genevieve.
Yes, and they're free.
Yep. So if you need any excuse to come to St. Gen and you can't make it to Pioneer Days in May, or if you want to come back again, you didn't get tired of us and you want to see us again, come back in July for our Independence Day celebration, which is going to be on Saturday.
Yes.
And you can stick around for that, and then afterwards you can go to see the fireworks.
And I will say, for our parade on Saturday of July 1st, anybody that wants to march with us, you can be in modern clothes, bring a flag, bring anything, join in behind us. If you're a reenactor, we're welcoming all periods, Civil War, 1812, French and
Indian. If you're a veteran, please march with us. This is a community event. We're trying to bring the whole community together.
And show patriotism and be proud Americans.
We are all Americans. It doesn't matter what you look like. It don't matter how tall you are, how short you are. If you got 5 eyes, you got 2 eyes, you got 3 legs, 2 legs.
What in the world?
I don't care. If you're an American, you walk with us.
They spiders?
And even if you're not an American, you're still our brothers and sisters. So walk in the back.
Well,
I'm kidding.
Leave the spiders at home. 5 eyes and 4 legs. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. Well, hey, I don't discriminate. If you were born that way, we still love you.
Yeah. So the more the better. It's not official. But we're hoping to have a beer garden and hot dogs. That part's not official yet. I will let you know whenever the flyer is made, but plan on coming to St. Genevieve. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have fife and drum music. We're going to have speakers. We're going to read the Declaration of Independence. There might be a U.S. representative for the state of Missouri there. Don't know yet. It's not set in stone. But we plan on having a great time, and after the ceremony stuff, we're going to be set up in the backyard of the houses there, demonstrating. You guys can come up and talk to us.
You guys can tour the old houses,
tour the old houses. They'll probably be running like a $5 special or something. Once again, not set in stone at this point. We'll
update you guys later once we get closer to that event. Because Ron is really organizing this event mostly. So as time goes on, we'll have more information for you. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome.
Ron is very patriotic.
I am. I'm telling you, the more we get away from it, the more it fires you up to do it. If somebody if somebody doesn't do it, then it's gonna go away. So I have to try.
You know, I have my point of view on it is I grew up all around the world because my dad was a colonel in the military. And everywhere I would move, people were so proud of their culture, whether it was Germany, Korea, Japan. Wherever I lived, people were so proud of it. They would wear traditional clothes during festivals, traditional food was everywhere.
Right.
And then you come to America, and why don't we have that here? It's our traditional clothes, our ancestors' food, our ancestors' music.
Yes.
And just celebrating our culture and our heritage. I don't want us to forget about that.
Beautifully said.
Well, thank you.
Justine for president 2046. After Ron runs for president in 2042.
If you vote for me, I'll give you a free chocolate cookie.
You can't be bribing them. Actually, George Washington did promise a pint of beer to every man who voted for him.
Oh, wow. Whole pint. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate your company today.
Thank you.
Thank you for your kind comments, not only on my channel, but also Ron's, Frontier Patriot.
950,000 over on Early American, and we're like, what, 65,000 or something like that on Frontier Patriot?
So many friends! So many friends! I can't wrap my mind around it.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you next time. Take care. We love you. Stay healthy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.